Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the moon square or opposition Neptune in a natal chart. Some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is if you have the moon square or opposite Neptune in a natal chart, there may be difficulty meeting that need, which is the moon, to attain your dreams, your fantasies, which is Neptune. Now, let's say if you have your Neptune in Scorpio, for example, those dreams and fantasies may include doing something with forensics, investigation, detective work, deep research. It may be something that involves psychology or locksmithing, or even the supernatural or the occult, which includes astrology. If Neptune is in Capricorn, as another example, those dreams and fantasies may include something with business in general, government, political work. It may be something associated with accounting, dentistry, information technology, masonry, could be architecture, construction, as some examples. Now, another thing about the moon square or opposite Neptune in natal chart and how it may manifest is that it could be where it's hard to find that inspiration, which is Neptune, to attain the emotional needs, which is the moon. Now, if the moon is in Aquarius, as an example, those emotional needs, may be tied in, to friendships, humanitarian endeavors, collective efforts. It could be things of an environmental nature. It may be, something associated with astronomy, computers, electronics, astrology, aviation, meteorology, innovation, as some examples. And also, too, another way these aspects may be expressed in the natal chart is that it might be, certain difficulty or having trouble, being in that mood, which is the moon, to attain, the ideals, which is Neptune. Neptune is in Sagittarius, as an example. Those ideals may be very, prodigious nature, but they can include, something associated with publishing, advertising, doing something, a printing press operation, being able, it may be something, connected with religion or philosophy or, college teaching, as some examples, being able to expand horizons. Now, another thing about the moon square or opposite Neptune in a natal chart is that it can be, there may be some difficulty in trying to find, that insight and intuition, which is the moon, to detect deception, which is Neptune. And I would say also even hidden adversaries as well, because that is connected with Neptune. Now, another thing, as an example, if you have, Neptune, say, in the fourth house, there may be, some deception or duplicity. You may experience in home-related matters. It could be over real estate. Maybe it's dealing, with something, with food, or, people you're close to home with, a less dominant parent, which is often the mother. Neptune is in the seventh house, as another example, deception, duplicity, hidden adversaries, or, maybe tied into people, that are, could be in relationships with. It could be significant other, it could be important friends. Seventh house is actually the house of open adversaries, but I'm talking about Neptune being in that seventh house, and Neptune is connected with hidden enemies. So, say Neptune in the seventh house as well, it could be a little harder to detect those open enemies even if you have Neptune there. But anyway, another thing about these aspects is that it may be hard to sacrifice, which is Neptune, for the mother and family, which is the moon. Now, if the moon is in Pisces, as an example, the mother, and even there may be some family members that may actually be Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be people that are altruistic, imaginative, compassionate, forgiving, sacrificing, idealistic, but yet at the same time may be deceptive and elusive as well. And another thing about the moon square or opposite Neptune in a natal chart, as far as how it may manifest, it could be where there is difficulty in expressing a compassion, which is Neptune, to those that you're close to home with, which is the moon. Now, let's say if the moon is in Gemini, as an example, those people that you're close to home with, one or more may actually be Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply embody the traits of the sign. It could be people that are mercurial, versatile, multifaceted, ones that are loquacious, adaptable, dexterous, quick-witted, but may also be contradictory and very changeable, as well, as an example. Now, also too, these aspects may be inauspicious as far as nurturing and caring, which is the moon, for the less fortunate. Whether it could be, there might just be simply, difficulty in expressing or being able to nurture and care for those people. Whether it's not understanding how to do it, or whether the experiences may not be the best, when doing so. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but it could be that you might wind up helping, trying to help the wrong people, so that are in a less fortunate plight or circumstance or what have you. So it's important to really, I'd say, with this aspect, to make sure you're evaluating people correctly, and it's the right people you're helping, if that is what you're attempting to do. Now, another thing about these aspects is that the person may have issues in terms of expressing the imagination, which is Neptune in the home, which is the moon, and whether it's through artistic endeavors. Neptune in Aquarius might be through some computer, some imagination, whether it's through artwork on the computer or what have you. Neptune in Libra can be about imagination through an artistic venue or nature. As an example, Neptune in Scorpio might be through something connected with the occult, which would include astrology, as far as how imagination may be expressed. Now, another thing about the moon square or opposite Neptune in a natal chart is that the hidden adversaries, which is Neptune, may have an adverse effect on your safety and security, which is the moon. If the moon is in Taurus, as an example, the safety and security may be very strongly tied into just simply having the creature comforts and monetary stability, having more of a very tranquil and peaceful atmosphere in your life. And the thing too is that the unconscious side, which is the moon, may not be compatible with Neptune related people, whether it's people that are spiritualists, or those in the metaphysical, which include astrology, people that are in less fortunate situations, people that were formerly imprisoned, as some examples. If the moon is in the zodiac sign Cancer, as an example, that unconscious side maybe one that is nurturing, caring, and sympathetic, but can also be very, clingy and brooding as well. And as some examples, and also too, there may be difficulty in terms of responding, which is the moon, to those, that may need to be rescued, which is Neptune. Now, if Neptune is in the second house, could be, those that may need to be rescued on a monetary level or something, associated, with possessions. Or if Neptune is in the 12th house, as another example, it could be a rescuing through some, lower, less fortunate situation, or maybe, somebody, maybe people that are, are in a situation where flooding is involved, as another example. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.